Hello, this is Roger G. This is a short video about our cruise to the Hawaiian and French Polynesian Islands. And we went aboard the Eurodam, which is one of Holland America's more popular ships. It weighs in at about 86,700 tons. There's 2,104 passengers aboard and 929 crew members. We departed from San Diego on March 9th. It was sad. I didn't see Anthony's Fish Grotto there anymore. Lynn had a chance to go photograph the pool, so these are her two pictures right here. So there's an indoor pool about midships, and then there's an outdoor pool on the stern of the ship. Yeah, I had to work a little bit. I taught 2 online classes in managerial accounting while I was aboard ship. And this salmon is the first meal I had. The salmon was really excellent. Our first stop was in Oahu, and you might recognize the Aloha Tower over here. And then you can see that Lynn and I are both dressed in Aloha outfits. Lynn took this picture. I think it's sort of nice. Good beach scene on the other side of Oahu from Honolulu. And then the next day, our ship went over to Hilo, Hawaii. And so up in the corner there, that's Lynn with Suzanne. That's John's wife's sister, Sandy's sister. And then I'm with her mother, Florence. And of course, we went to Walmart. I had to get my picture of all that Spam. I think Hilo has to be the Spam capital of the world. And then a couple of days later, we landed on Fanning Island, which was really a nowhere place. There was no electricity, no public bathrooms, no infrastructure whatsoever. But these singers really welcomed us. I noticed this wreck out in the water. You can see where the arrow is pointing. And so I asked one of the Holland American officers about that. And he says, well, it's not an old tender. It is a Recodam. Then on March 21st, we went across the international date line and the equator. There is a procedure you go through so you can become a shellback. This is King Neptune right here and his queen, and he presides over the affair. So the people who have never crossed the equator before, they have to kiss this fish, and then they get this slime put all over them, and then they get dumped into the pool. We were lucky. We got one of the best waiters that we've ever had. His name is Endika, and then Sukma is his assistant waiter. Both of these guys are really good. And our table mates were Dave and Beth. They were really nice people. Our first French Polynesian island was Bora Bora. This is the first hotel I saw, and you can see the cabins right out over the water right there. And the other picture is of us on the pier with the Eurodam behind us. The first day, we had scheduled a ship's tour, and it was on a broken down truck that they had converted into somewhat of a bus. And so we got most of the way around the island, and then about 2 miles away from Bloody Mary's, there was a huge bang underneath the truck, and one of the tires had blown, I think. And so it limped its way to Bloody Mary's, and of course, once we got there, we all piled out and headed to the bar. The next day, I rented this little Emoke, E-M-O-K-E, and it looks like a golf cart. It's all electric, and we went around the island twice. That was a lot more fun, and you can see Lynn is out there in the water there a little bit. Here's another couple of pictures we took as went around the island. These are some nice dwellings here over the water. And this is one of the nicer scenes that we came across. It was not a particularly beautiful island. I think most of the people went there for the snorkeling and the scuba diving. Then our next stop was Raiatea. This old fellow right here, he was 80 years old. He had 4 women. He never did marry, but he had 20 children by them, 10 boys and 10 girls. We went out to this place called the Marais ceremonial grounds. There are a lot of monuments and things like that there, which he explained. And then here I am on the bus. He's talking to Lynn, explaining something to her. And this right here, this guy's walking around, he's drying coconut shells. The next one was Maria. I took a photographer's tour, and this is one of my better shots that I got. And I've never been one to take pictures of flowers very much, but the photographer helped me a little bit, so I got a couple of really nice flower pictures, and the middle picture is of a baby pineapple. And here are a couple of the beautiful scenes of Maria. The one in the upper left corner is where Captain Cook came in on the HMS Bounty to get the breadfruit trees, and then the other one is where our ship is. That's sort of a river that's coming out of the island and going out to the sea right there. Then our next stop was Tahiti. Lynn is standing in front of the only lighthouse in Tahiti. It was built back in 1867. That's me standing in front of the stone commemorating the HMS Bounty. And so that's the picture of Captain Cook there and his wife. I like this picture because it was the first black sand beach I had ever seen. This sand was very fine. Then we went to this atoll, and I'm almost afraid to say that because it sounds like a swear word. See, Whakarava. That's, I think, the way you say it. Anyway, this is their primary swimming place right here. And there are a lot of people from the ship in the water right there. Where you saw those people swimming, these nurse sharks came up to this fellow, and he fed them and pet them. Our last island to visit was Nuku'iva. This woman greeted me on the pier, and this man greeted Lynn, and these people danced to these drummers right here a little later on. The big thing to see was this small Roman Catholic church. This Nuku'iva is the largest of the Marquesas Islands. Here we are up in the hills a little bit, looking down on the bay where the ship is, and the very, very small town that's there. We stopped by to see these horses they were almost like wild horses, and you can see the ears on this horse. And Lynn decided he wasn't very happy for her being there, so she skedaddled out of there. And Lynn was taking a picture of me, and I got photobombed by these two young girls. On the left-hand picture here, that was our guide. She was a school administrator. She knew the parents of just about every kid on that island. She just knew everybody. That was fun going around the island with her. The two girls there were Dory and Ellen, and they were from Vancouver, British Columbia. Originally born in China, but settled up in Canada. And the picture that we always have taken is right on the stern of the ship with a wake right there. This turned out to be a pretty good picture this time. And then on April 6th, we arrived in San Diego about 5:30 in the morning, and it was still pretty dark out. And that's all, folks.